I hope you're ready to handle nosedives and barrel rolls because today, you're about to witness things that 99% of pilots have never encountered. As we prepare for takeoff, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Ready? Let's fly. I don't think a fire of any size could withstand the watery onslaught of this firefighting airplane. How can a Swiss mountain landscape be even more stunning? Add a little jet thrust, of course. Looks like someone decided to host the coolest air show on the planet. Is it fair to say they nailed it? I bet you've never seen this method of planting in hard-to-reach places before. The F-117 Nighthawk might be invisible to enemy radar, but it couldn't hide from these spotters. It gave them an unforgettable experience. Imagine how much precious time this pilot saves by scooping up water to fight fires while on the move. This helicopter pilot couldn't resist showing off his skills to a passing car. Any lower, and he'd be subject to traffic laws. Here's why your flight might be delayed due to bad weather. Fortunately, no one except the airline's insurance company was hurt. These medics figured out a way to land on the highway to reach someone in need using a helicopter, and they nailed it. Yes, that's a helicopter carrying a plane. And if you're not impressed, consider this. The helicopter alone weighs 28 tons. Don't worry if your plane's engine cuts out, but you're allowed to panic if it's your only one. Never seen a business jet land without a wheel on special foam to avoid a fire? Luckily, this pilot's skills were stronger than his bad luck. Did you know that a plane and an iPhone are all you need to make action camera manufacturers nervous? The kids on this tour had no idea Santa would be showing up in a Black Hawk helicopter instead of with his reindeer. But don't worry, this Santa is a pro. You don't need to go to space to feel weightless. These girls didn't know that either. It's hard to imagine how much power it takes to lift a 20-ton CV-22B Osprey into the air. Just watch. If a forest fire breaks out far from a water source, be prepared for your backyard pool to become a magnet for local firefighting helicopters. This pilot doesn't care what his helicopter is capable of. His skills decide what's possible. 1 in 10 people can become a pilot, but only 1 in 100 pilots can reach this guy's skill level. Even a toy plane rescue mission can look cool when real aviation gets involved. The most spectacular landing isn't one without landing gear, but one where the runway is being repaired. Now that takes some serious guts. Can you believe that back in the 1950s, the US had already created the first experimental plane with vertical takeoff and landing capability? Did anyone tell this pilot he's flying a helicopter, not a jet? Either way, he knows how to impress the crowd. These plane spotters wanted to see a landing up close and chose the perfect place to do so, but don't worry, no one got hurt. Landing gear malfunctions are a pilot's nightmare, and this cargo Boeing captain had to face one head-on. Luckily, his skills prevented any casualties. You might not know much about the Swiss Air Force, but in a few seconds, you'll remember their air shows forever. If drifting had a final boss, it would be the pilot of this helicopter. You have to be more than just a professional to pull off these kinds of maneuvers. You have to be the best of the best. No numbers can convey the true power of a jet fighter, but this video can. Some people are afraid of flying in airplanes, but now this driver is afraid of airplanes that fly. This is a landing at an airport. Look at the runway's location and the angle pilots have to take on the approach. Try not to blink, or you'll miss this fighter jet flying at an ultra-low altitude. How can every aviation lover's vacation be made even better? Like this. Nothing to see here, just some neighbors redecorating their terrace with a helicopter. Think you've seen it all when it comes to landings? How about this one? The pilot of this helicopter definitely used to work for a delivery service and was Employee of the Month every month. Don't tell me you've never wanted to jump out of a helicopter like these military pros. I know you have. That's right, you're looking at the world's first flying construction set. This plane is being refueled by a helicopter carrying another plane in mid-air. If you ever see this effect, consider yourself lucky. You just witnessed a plane breaking the sound barrier. Show this video to anyone who doesn't know that aviation can be true art. This pilot may not be great at takeoffs, but he's a genius in emergencies. Thanks to his quick thinking, no one was hurt. These people came here to watch the largest airplane in the world, the AN-225 Maria, fly over them. I swear, when I see some pilots' maneuvers, it's like they've literally sold their soul to gravity. This firefighting helicopter flies so low over a traffic jam that it can literally see the faces of the drivers below. If you didn't want to become a pilot before this video, this breathtaking view will change your mind. Can we all agree that whoever came up with the idea to trim tall trees using a helicopter and a saw is a genius? Try to name a better trio in the comments. Check out these planes with 60 years of technological progress between them, flying side by side at the Orlando Air Show. This CH-47 Chinook pilot knows how to make an air show unforgettable. Don't worry, no one started stuttering afterward. Here's proof that even combat helicopter pilots have a sense of humor. This is the last thing you want to see out of your airplane window, but luckily everything turned out fine. Not sure what's going on here, but it looks like this plane is sucking out someone's soul like a Dementor. You've heard about the F-117 Nighthawk stealth technology, but I bet you've never seen it in action. This pilot is so skilled that ordinary flying isn't enough for him anymore. He has to wow the local fishermen. This is the moment you realize you've flown into the wrong airspace. Need to trigger an avalanche for safety? No problem, there's nothing aviation can't handle. The passengers on this flight took a dip in the sea before they even reached their hotel. Fortunately, no one was hurt, and rescuers were on the scene. Try to guess who in this video loves their job. I hope you have a strong stomach, because you're about to see this skilled pilot stunt. It doesn't matter why the plane can't stop on the runway. The result is still a hard landing. Thankfully, in this case, no one was harmed. This hidden jungle landing strip must have belonged to Pablo, why else would it be so short? When a good pilot sees a bridge, they can't resist doing this. Now's your chance to witness an incredible parallel takeoff of two airplanes, where everything had to line up perfectly. Most pilots need a miracle to pull out of a spin, but not this guy. His skills are enough. Hear that sound? That's an engine failure. Now begins the most nerve-wracking 30 seconds of these pilots' lives. Landing on an aircraft carrier is challenging enough, but here's what happens when it becomes an emergency landing. Messing up a landing in a single-seater is one thing, but doing it in an Airbus A350 with 400 passengers on board is a whole other level. But don't worry, he'll get another chance. Love roller coasters? Well then, just become a Marine. What you're seeing now is the result of a technical failure that forced the pilot to literally drop onto the runway. Miraculously, all passengers were unharmed. Trust me, you'll never want to joke around at Australian airports after seeing their security. Don't worry, no one was hurt. This pilot overshot his landing on the approach. Fortunately, luck was on his side that day. One of the controllers at this airport messed up the routing and almost had a heart attack because of it. Miraculously, the first plane managed to take off. Clouds look stunning from the cockpit, but forest fires look exponentially more frightening. I'm no expert on private jets, but something seems off here. Sometimes airplanes aren't just fascinating, they're also frightening. Look, someone built a strange cargo plane that looks like a beluga whale. This guy got in trouble but was lucky enough to be rescued by a helicopter in just a few minutes. If this landing looks easy, and you think you could do it, trust me, it only seems that way because a true professional is at the controls. If you happen upon a scene like this, rest assured that someone got 5 stars in a game, and now you're going to be late for work. Pros of living near an airport: you get to watch these beauties every day. Cons: you have to hear them every day too. Like this video if you didn't know special forces could evacuate like this outside of Call of Duty. This may look like a video game, but trust me, not even gamers can pull off what this pro can do in real life. Still think parallel parking is the hardest? Well, check out how this pro parked. It's hard to imagine anything cooler than a pro flying through a tunnel at over 150 kilometers per hour.